We're back here on the Morning Brew on this Thursday, the 6th of May, 2021. The spotlight on the COVID-19 situation in Trinidad and Tobago, the most recent restrictions and lockdown affecting so many people, not just minimum wage earners, but also small business owners, not only people in the food business, but also people in the personal services business. And I'm talking specifically now about beauticians and estheticians. We've got on the line with us this morning one of those people who would have found themselves basically forced to lockdown because of the new restrictions the Prime Minister announced over the weekend and earlier this week as well. Candice Mohan, good morning to you, and thank you for joining us on the show this morning.
Hi, good morning. Good morning, everyone.
I have, one of my very best friends is in your line of business, and she has painted a grim picture of what's been happening to people in your line of work, with regard to this entire COVID-19 pandemic, and also how it's changed the way you would have had to work as well. Let's look at how you would have had to change the way you conduct your business, because it really is a very intimate connection that you're establishing with someone when you're providing these kinds of aesthetic services, isn't it?
Yes, it is. It is you're quite correct. I mean, you are in direct contact with a client, so hence your COVID-19 protocol should be of your highest standards, because sanitation is this is hygiene, most salons or beauticians, it's actually one-on-one contact with hair, skin, nails. So whatever industry that you're in, whatever type of salon that you're in, it is still hair, skin, and nails, and direct contact with, persons directly.
Mm-hmm. So you would have had to constantly sanitize as well as ensure that you have proper PPE to deal with your clients.
Correct. And also you have to also social distance. Last year, which I was about to tell you, since 2020 when COVID-19 protocols came out, a lot of things had to change, including the amount of persons that you do book on a regular basis. Now, you can't book multiple clients at the same time. I had to work one-on-one with clients, came in direct contact with clients, but I had to also limit the number of persons, even employees. So therefore, my employee count went down, which led to job loss to my staff. Of course, that's work strain on myself, because therefore, you have less staff, you have to therefore now restructure and reorganize.
Mm-hmm. Okay, and my friend talked about having to do, schedule appointments with her clients and make sure that there is a big enough gap between those appointments so that she could sanitize her premises before the next person comes in, and change her PPE for each and every client who came in to utilize her services.
Listen, COVID-19, we have a cleaner, safer Trinidad and Tobago. I have no objections there. But when you look at revenue loss, you look at job loss, you look at even clients' mental and emotional capacity to schedule an appointment, because people are scared. Nobody wants to get sick, even children, depending on the type of clients that you do have. In my case, I have a lot of families that come to me, meaning the mother, children, because obviously we have a lot of parents that visit these salons, and they therefore bring their children as well. So I had to restrict children. So as of last year, I limited children visiting the salon, because children tend to touch a lot, and it's less, you can't control as well as you can control an adult. So even that needed to change. But given the last, this shutdown that took place last week, and we're still waiting to see what will be done by the Ministry of Health in terms of protocols for businesses, which I think should be in place.
I know that a lot of people in your industry were looking forward to having a bit of a boost for Mother's Day this month. And of course, these new lockdowns and restrictions have put the kibosh on that. What are you hearing from your colleagues? What's the situation there?
It is quite devastating, there was little to no time frame in terms of putting things in place. It was an immediate shutdown within a couple of hours. So therefore, a lot of things just happened abruptly. Hence the reason pre-planning was, rescheduling. I had appointments scheduled we in advance, obviously, into this weekend and even sales and so forth. Now I have to innovate and probably try to figure out, because I am still offering like gift vouchers to moms that they can redeem at a later point, which I placed on with no expiration, I should say. Because it's the best way that I can think of at this point to still give a gift to a mom or still provide a service for the business without, limitation at this point, because everything is uncertain.
I know that last year the government had begun to organize grants to provide support for small businesses, and even the credit union movement, I believe, would have also gotten some money to be able to help and support
Correct.
small businesses. We're not seeing anything like that this year, but were you able to take advantage at all of those disbursements?
No.
And
unfortunately, myself, none of the colleagues that I know. A lot of us filled out forms. We looked into it. We even called a couple of the, ministries or so forth in terms of finding out information, and the information was there and the forms were there. But I have to say that I've heard someone got a grant. No, we haven't. But at the end of the day, they are still, they're being offered. But to say received, no, we haven't. I'm not sure what will take place this year.
All right, but would you want to see something like that being offered by the government at this point in time, or would you want to see that sort of assistance coming a little later when we're sure we're on safer ground, so that, as we get closer and closer to being able to go back to a kind of normal, that you would have that boost to kick off again? Which would be the better option for someone in your line of work?
Yes, well, to be honest, a little of both. Because operations is important in terms of sustainability, not only to the customer, but also to the business revenue. Apart from that, we have a cycle of, from 2020 into financial cycle of deficit. And then you have to restart again after this 3 weeks, pending, the government's approval of what they decide to do. So my thing is, I think that, yes, the grants and so forth are very helpful. However, how is that is to clear the debt or clear outstanding? However, how do we move and operate sustainably, which is my question as to, and what I would like to see implemented, safe measures of sustainable solutions.
I saw something in social media, banks beginning mortgage sales on certain bits of property, vehicles, and other property. What have you been hearing, and your colleagues been hearing from the banks in terms of your respective situations? Are they being patient with you? Are they supporting you in keeping afloat?
Honestly, I must say yes. I have been, I'm in direct contact with my commercial officers and so forth that handle the business and transactions. Everyone is careful. I mean, your loans, your mortgages, different aspect of your business is still, those payments are still being deferred, means that it's just not being paid right away, but you still have to pay it. So therefore, paying it is not really the problem, but it's when will you? And if so, how are you going to do so? After this 3 weeks and so forth, because that's just like 3 weeks out of it, but then you still have commercial, in cases of where commercial hairdressers or commercial businesses have rental, you still have that to take care of, Jesse.
Okay, Candice, we're going to leave it there for now, but we do appreciate you being so frank and so open and painting a clearer picture for us in terms of what's happening with some of the other small businesses. I mean, we've been hearing mainly about people in the food and beverage sector, but in the personal services sector, we haven't really heard too much from you guys, and it's good to get a clearer picture of what's happening with you this morning.
No problem. Thank you so much. It was a pleasure.
Okay, and I do hope that someone in government is listening and paying attention so that they could come up with an idea that would definitely help entrepreneurs like you and others. Have a great day, Candice.
You too. Bye.
Okay, that's it for that bit of news making. We've got to take a quick break. When we come back, we bring you up to speed on what are the big stories trending around the globe, and also we take a couple of your calls too. So stay with us.